Hi guys, welcome back. All right, so Saggies, let's go ahead and take a quick peek. Tomorrow we are going to be having the rare black moon, and so with the black moon coming on, and actually I think I'm going to use a deck I didn't use for anybody else, Sag. But with that black moon, it can be the term that is used to reference um, the moon in two different ways, but the way in which it is depicted tomorrow, it means that we are having a second new moon in a single month. And that is very rare. I think it only happens like every 29 months or something. So, and it's also really nice because the new moon represents fresh starts, new beginnings. And so, of course, we're just about to roll over the calendar into our next year, 2025. So this could be a really lovely time. So we are starting out with this concept of what comes next in the new moon. What is the newness coming in? And we have the magician. We may have somebody that is coming literally face to face with some of their hopes, their wishes, their dreams. This could be somebody who's having almost a prophetic dream. This could be somebody who is looking at themselves in the mirror and having it suddenly strike them. You know what? There's some stuff I still want. There's some things I want to manifest. And what's standing in my way? Well, absolutely nothing. I almost feel like this is Sag possibly having an epiphany that their life is still supposed to be unfolding in a certain way. It doesn't matter what age our Sag is, their story is not done being written. We have a Two of Cups. I'm going to say Sag is aware that there's either a person or a connection or a relationship that they are very much still in process of manifesting. This is really strong energy of Gemini, Virgo, and now we have in general the water signs coming in. So Scorpio, Cancer, Pisces. I'll be doing Scorpio after this, by the way, and I've already done Pisces and I did Cancer earlier today on my other channel. I have not done Virgo or Gemini yet, but those will come. So this feels like there's a really important relationship, a Two of Cups relationship. And I almost think that, is it possible that Sag is realizing they've been skating circles around somebody? I think Sag is very like celestially gifted or spiritually aligned, or maybe you notice that her scarf here has all of the, stars and the moon on it. It could be that Sagittarius is really tapped into life purpose based off of their astrological placements, and they're just realizing, you know what, I'm recommitting to the fact that during this second opportunity in this same month of December to start fresh, I am realizing that I'm recommitting myself to something that I already know is on my life path. I know I'm manifesting something. I know that there's a really important soulmate, soul purpose, soul connection out there for me. And I already know this. With the Ace of Wands, it feels like Sag is, they're not giving up on something, they're recommitting to something. Even recommitting to the idea that if there is a relationship out there that they actually believe is going to transform, or a person that they've always believed is right for them, it kind of looks like this is Sag saying, they've always been right for me. They're still going to be right for me. Time is fluid. Sometimes things come to pass, right when we expect them to, and other things take more time to come around. But what's still headed my way is still headed my way. We have the Hanged Man, really strong energy of, so what if there's delays? It doesn't change the fact that I still know that my life path, I do feel like Sag is realizing that they move faster. They can conceive of things more swiftly. They're able to see the future in a way that not everybody can. And being able to recognize that, being able to fully embrace that, this is just our Sag like wholeheartedly saying, yeah, I do know that. Yeah, I don't have to question that. I know that I've got this. I know how this goes. I know how my story goes. I understand this is, it's still right for me, even if it's been taking time. Queen of Swords is in the reverse. I do think that Sag is realizing at one point in time, they might have been frustrated, angry, irritated, like, why are things taking so long? And now they're actually saying, why, if the person that Sag cares about is somebody who's still kind of sitting here, but Sag is like, don't they see it? Don't they get it? Don't they know that this is really special? How come I can see it and I can spin circles around them and they're not able to like be aware of this the way I am. I think Sag used to be either frustrated or upset about, how long is it going to take for this other person to awaken. And now Sag is like, no, this is all part of the life path. When I have to do all of the things that I get to do, all of the experiences that I get to have, all of my talents, all of my hobbies, all my gifts, all of my life is happening every single day. I don't just have one main focus of, who I'm supposed to be with, and the ultimate goal of my life is to just get into a relationship. I think this is Sag realizing so wholeheartedly that their life has many, many different facets, and they have a lot of talents, and they have a lot of things to pursue. And there's no reason to be frustrated that perhaps a romantic partnership is not ready for them. In fact, if anything, it's like, hey, put those cookies back in the oven. They're just a bunch of cookie dough right now. I don't want a divine partner who hasn't finished baking yet. I want them to do what they need to do, to learn what they need to learn. And in the meantime, this is Sag totally recommitting themselves to whatever that Ace of Wands is. So let me take a look. What is it that Sag is focusing on? Four of Cups. If anything, I think the Sag is realizing that they've kind of dawdled just a little bit. They might have wasted just a little bit of time putting their energy into something that like frustration, instead of realizing they are a master creator. This Sagittarius, if they take charge of everything, we have very strong masculine energy coming through for this Sag. This Sag can do anything. And when I say masculine energy, what I mean is the energy of the sun. They project and they make things happen, which is maybe why it was so frustrating that if Sag felt like they met a divine counterpart and that counterpart was not like stepping up to the plate, was not stepping into like, hey, let's do this divine union thing and let's build together. I can see why it would be frustrating, because Sag is like, we're here to like get stuff done. It's because Sag has a lot of clarity and they have a lot of abilities, and they don't really question what their intuition knows or what their life path is. They pretty much jump on it. Like they know what is right for them. And it's maybe even been inconceivable for them to see that other people would just sit and not take advantage of, opportunities that are right there, and don't see those same opportunities that Sag sees. But I think Sag is realizing during this black moon, in truth, the only disappointment is if Sag doesn't keep just manifesting the heck out of their life, because Sag has many, many more facets. This Sag can become a full-blown emperor in whatever they do. The emperor is like the upper echelon. This is when we master something. We master life. This is the person who, runs a Fortune 500 company. This is the person that can literally do anything. They can be somebody who makes a huge impact in the world. They can write the #1 best-selling book. They can become very famous. They can lead an entire empire. And this doesn't mean that Sag has to become famous. It's the way they live their life could simply be to be very in charge of their life. And to be famous is like, in our own neighborhood, Sag could be known as the person who has the prettiest rose bushes. It doesn't matter. It doesn't have to be that Sag has to change the world, but they have talents, they have gifts, and this Sag has a lot that they are passionate about. And I think if anything, they're like, damn, I need to focus on all these other things, not worry about being frustrated that a divine counterpart is seemingly still sitting there, not moving, not doing much. Just because I can see what potential we can have together. If they're not there yet, they're not ready to co-create, I shouldn't pause any of my creations. We got the Wheel of Fortune upright, and we've got that 8 of Swords. So I do think that previously Sag was feeling kind of stuck, feeling like, how am I supposed to move forward and build and grow when this divine counterpart is not yet standing up and partaking of this life that we could have together? And what is changing for Sag during this rare black moon is they're realizing, yeah, but my life isn't on hold. Not at all. In fact, our Sag is like really reclaiming their connection to their own life path, their purpose, the thing that they know is right there for them. I do think that this is a Sag who really has terrific grasp of their own talents, But for a little while, I do think Sag was kind of stuck, thinking that they needed to wait on somebody. Let me just ask, just for the sake of this storyline, what happens with that Two of Cups person that seems to still be sitting there? We've got a 10 of Wands upright, and we've got the Nine of Cups, but that Nine of Cups is in the reverse. The situation with that person seems to be that they have not yet found the way to pursue happiness, and they won't until they either escape something. It almost feels like they're stuck somewhere, or they are, hungry for the wrong things instead of happiness. They keep choosing like guilt and remorse, or they keep staying someplace, because actually this is part of the pelvis that we see in this, the sit bones here, ischium. um, this character was sitting before, and they seem to have a hard time lifting themselves up and letting go of burdens and moving forward. So I'm wondering if Sag kind of has a divine counterpart that is still very much, the longer they sit, the more necessary it is for Sag to balance it by Sag being stand up and action taking, right? If a divine counterpart is about balance, then if a character sits all the time, maybe that's why Sag is shown standing. If they are stuck, that's why Sag can't be stuck. There will be greater balance if Sag keeps moving forward. In fact, they might even be the energetic like tug that helps that divine counterpart eventually get unstuck themselves. So this is like everything is flowing again, everything is moving again as Sag recommits to their own life, to their own progress, to their own successes. And it's not to like leave that person in the past high and dry. It's just that they haven't yet chosen and still seem to be at a point where they have to break away from something, guilt, shame, whatever it is that keeps them stuck, and they have to start thinking about their own happiness. And so long as they haven't done that yet, then they're not ready to move forward yet with Sag. But let me go back over to Sag and let me just ask this. What is next in Sag's adventures? Since this is all about newness, this is all about new beginnings, this is all about, we have Dragon's Lair. I gotta say, this is still Year of the Dragon, only for a little while longer, right? We're moving on out of this real soon. But with Dragon's Lair, I think Sag has had some great ideas that they could have put into action all year long, but they just haven't. There's still time. If they get busy, maybe they've got 19 things on a checklist that they would like to still get done. I know this sounds like there's maybe a big flurry of activity that Sag is going to pour themselves into right as we cross the finish line and we come into next year. But remember, Year of the Dragon technically still goes on all the way into the beginning of February until we switch over into Year of the Snake based off of the Chinese zodiac. So January 1, we consider to be, like me being an American, I think of January the 1st as the beginning of the new year. But that's not the way it's celebrated if we're talking about the Chinese zodiacs. So really, there is plenty more time. Especially if we're going to go by Chinese zodiacs. But I feel like there have been some things that Sag has kept on ice that if they pick up the pace right now and start pouring their energy into things that they want, creating certain things, making certain things happen, sending those letters, reaching out, making things happen, Sag is not going to feel as if they've missed out on anything. Basically, they can do a lot in a short span of time and make up for any of that downtime where they felt frustrated and even upset and angry because they were waiting for a soulmate to like get up and get busy. The soulmate has to, or the Two of Cups person has to do their own thing. Meanwhile, Sag has so much to accomplish. Can we see any of what they'll be accomplishing? I'm just curious because these are meaningful and amazing things in the big scheme of Sag's life. We got the Eight of Pentacles over the Devil. This is significant, like personal work over anything that Sag was nervous about, fearful about. You notice that we have like the bird cage is open, but this person has no clothes on, and there's like, oh, I'm so nervous. I'm so scared of this or that. Sag is completely, I think, going to go ahead. It could be something like public speaking, or we see a person who's putting together this, astrological or astronomical kind of like with these pentacles in the center of the universe there. It almost looks like somebody's making a diorama of like the planets and the solar system. So I don't know, maybe Sag has been thinking about putting themselves out there, being more in the public eye in regards to things like astrology, for example. Something that they've wanted to share. Maybe this is a book they wanted to write and bring to the public, and they've been nervous about it. Maybe this is, sharing some of their knowledge, but it's something that they've wanted to work on, but it required them more than anything to not be nervous about putting themselves into like the public eye. Look, an emperor is going to be in the public eye. They just are. That people are going to want to follow this emperor. If this is who Sag is, it's great because it says instead of pursuing love right now, they actually have an opportunity at the moment to focus on one of their talents, one of their skills, and something that could be really instrumental in them, like putting their own name on the map. And I feel like this is stuff Sag has wanted to do for a long time, and they gratefully, blissfully have a span of time to do this before they end up reconnecting to that soulmate. I think it's only a matter of time before this, I keep saying soulmate, but this Two of Cups person, it's only a matter of time before I think Sag is not going to be single anymore. But for the moment, it's a darn good thing that that person is not with them yet, because Sag has to be able to pour their own energy into something that they want to do. And I think during this particular Black Moon, this is their chance to do it. It's very exciting. It's very like, thank goodness Sag has this bit of time to do what they need to just for themselves. So I'm excited. That's a great one for Sag. Anyway, you guys, thanks for being here. Thanks for giving it a thumbs up and subscribing. Lots of love. Bye for now.